Yo, 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 what is up, y'all? My name is Rob Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And once again, we are talking college hoops, and once again, we basically, don't break dead even just because bet sizing kind of gets in the way of that. But in terms of actually our betting record, yesterday we went 5-5, today we went 3-3, and yeah, definitely not a place you want to live because again, that VIG eats into the payouts, so even if you are betting the same size across the board and just kind of splitting all of your bets and hitting 50%, you're going to be losing money the way that we bet over here. But with all that being said, though, Friday is a small slate, so we're going to have a shorter video. But of course, we do need to shout out today's sponsor, ProphetX. And we just mentioned it, VIG eats into your payouts over time when you're betting on these minus 120 or minus 118 or minus 115 odds. But what I really love about ProphetX is it's a sports book and a sports betting platform dedicated to eliminating or lessening that VIG. So make sure you're adding this to your rotation of sports books. I recommend you carry quite a few. And down in the description box below, there's going to be a sign-up link for you that you can use to get a pretty sweet deposit match bonus here as well. But with all that being said, y'all, let's jump into these Friday picks. All right, first up, we are heading out to the Ivy League where we have Yale taking on Princeton. And of course, these two programs over the past couple years in the NCAA tournament have really kind of traded off Cinderella runs, with Yale being the most recent one, upsetting Auburn. And really, they upset Auburn on the back of John Poulikitis, and he's back. I was kind of thinking that he was going to take a medical redshirt if he could and then transfer out of the program, but no, he decided to return from injury, and ever since he has returned from that injury, they've been playing exceptional basketball. And Princeton this year, we've bet on them quite a few times. They're kind of a frustrating team because they go through these kind of weird stretches of not being able to score, and then these really high-intensive, high-octane, high-output stretches of scoring the ball at will, and that's kind of what's difficult about betting against them. But at the same time, I do think that Yale is playing the best basketball in this league, so I say we lay the 2.5 points here for 2 units for our first bet here on Friday. For pick number 2, we are heading out to the MAAC where we have Iona taking on Manhattan. And when you're looking at this matchup, Iona, I think, is coming into this matchup playing some of the best ball in the MAAC. Winners of their last 3. Obviously, they're well coached, and they brought in a ton of transfer portal talent in the offseason that I really thought was going to help bolster this roster. And I think it's finally showing that actually is the case. So let's go ahead and take Iona on the money line for 3 units for our second bet here on Friday. For pick number 3, we are traveling out to the A10 where we have, again, one of my favorite games of the night between Dayton and St. Louis. And St. Louis, I feel like as of late, has started to kind of figure it out. And Dayton is kind of in that period right now where everything seems to be going wrong for them. And unfortunately, it's just the worst time because this is not a 2-bid league. They needed to handle business in conference to kind of have a chance at that at-large spot. And now it's kind of gone by the wayside. But at the same time, I truly believe that there's a buy low point on every single program in a given season. And if this isn't it for Dayton, I don't know where that buy low point is going to show up. So let's go ahead and take the Dayton Flyers for 2 units, getting the 1.5 points here for our third bet here on Friday. All right, for our final bet here on Friday, we are heading back to the MAAC where we have Siena taking on Marist. And Marist has one of the more impressive records in pretty much all of mid-major basketball, which is crazy to say because when you look at their advanced analytics, a lot of people are going to be scratching their heads. When you watch this team play, I feel like they've been very susceptible in a lot of their games despite coming out as the victor. And when you're looking at this matchup against Siena, I don't think that Siena is one of the doormats in this league. And again, I feel like the fact that a 15-3 Marist team is laying sort of this lower number is going to attract a lot of action to Bet Marist, and I do want to be on the other side of that here. So let's go ahead and take the 5.5 points with Sienna for 3 units for our final bet here on Friday. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video, and I gotta take a second here to really shout you guys out because we hit a major milestone on this channel on Wednesday night. I got a notification that on this channel, we have surpassed 1 million total views. That just feels surreal that so many of you guys have, one, either just watched a lot of my videos or have, been attracted to my videos for any given reason. And man, I just can't thank you guys enough. That was a really awesome thing to see and definitely left a smile on my face. But for those who are wanting to follow our bets, whether there's a video here on Friday, I almost didn't make one, but I ended up kind of following through and found that little extra gear at nighttime with that energy burst. But if you want to make sure that you're following all of our bets, make sure you're heading over to Twitter/X at RobDFB, because if I don't have a video, I'll have a text post with all of our bets. But with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.